Nasir bin Olu Dara Jones, better yet known simply as Nas. Without a doubt, my biggest influence in the music industry today. Son of famous jazz musician Olu Dara, Nas was born in New York in Queensbridge housing projects, home to some of hip hop's most important pioneers, including MC Shan and Mobb Deep. At this point in his career, ironically, the thing that stands out the most to me would be pretty much his first studio album that he ever released, which was in 1994, entitled Illmatic. And Nas released this album when he was only 17. And you heard me correctly, 17 years of age. And crazy enough, without one single solitary guest celebrity feature on this album, to this day, Illmatic is considered probably the greatest hip hop album of all time ever released. And he was 17 when he brought it out, so that's crazy to think about. And if that wasn't already enough to catapult him into the history books with all the legends, on Nas's second studio album, It Was Written, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts and went double platinum. So that's really not that bad for your first two albums ever released. That's crazy. And so some issues he had to overcome. One issue he had to overcome was the rivalry he had with the other famous New York rapper at the time, which we all know, Jay-Z, which later turned into a beef where both artists actually were slandering each other in different interviews and actually making diss records and going on wax and talking reckless about each other. One of Nas's most legendary songs ever was Ether. It was a Jay-Z diss where he revealed Jay-Z used to be a fan of Nas before he got in the music industry and was saying that Jay-Z was tarnishing Biggie's legacy by stealing his lyrics, which, Jay-Z was known to do from time to time. So, and, this brought an inner city battle and it brought the wrong publicity to hip-hop at the time, especially at a time when two of hip-hop's biggest stars had just recently passed away due to the same type of feuds, like hip-hop beef, you know what I mean? So that was something that was really negative, and there was a challenge for him, because, it wasn't bringing the right type of publicity to him, to his name, to Jay-Z, bad for business. So that was something that he had to overcome. But that lasted between 2001 and 2005. 2005, they ended the beef and everything was back to normal. Another challenge he had was during the release of his 10th studio album. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for saying this, but his album was originally supposed to be entitled Nigga, which obviously would stir some type of controversy, So progressive commentators such as Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, they were outraged. They spoke against this. They didn't want him to do this. They were saying that this word needs to be taken away completely, So basically, yeah. And he was forced to change it because certain retailers, they were not going to agree to distribute his album due to the title. So at the end of the day, he was forced to change it, but not without saying how he felt about Jesse Jackson, quote unquote, calling him the biggest player hater ever. But yeah, in conclusion though, Nas' career to me was highly successful. He's been nominated for 11 Grammy Awards and has won 2. Also, he was an actor in one of the most successful gangster rap movies ever, entitled Belly, and it was directed by one of the most famous hip hop music video directors in Hype Williams. So yeah, I think his career was very successful. He has a major influence on hip hop, the hip hop we listen to today, and he's still considered one of the greatest ever. So, yeah, that's Nas. Thank you for listening.